Okay, I had done a previous video where I stated that we're missing something. And I was right. The police did not release the full videos. The video from the body cam of the officer basically only has one particular shot that was relevant, and it was a super fast shot of Mr. drawing a blank, Mr. Scott exiting the vehicle, and clearly you can see there's nothing in his right hand. Now I'm going to play this entire clip from MSNBC, but the relevant point that I'm going to make is that the police admitted that they didn't release the entire video from the dash cam or from the officer, okay? And we clearly need to see the video at least 2 or 3 minutes, or everything that that dash cam has regarding this encounter, and I mean everything. That dash cam video would help us to understand and see how the officers first approached Mr. Scott. But instead, they started with the officers already deployed. I want to see everything before those officers actually were deployed in that video. Now, the other relevant point I want to make is there was a shooter who killed 4 people in Washington. They were looking for this guy like crazy. Guess what? They found him, and they took him alive. This man killed 4 people. Mr. Scott and Mr. Crutcher killed no one. In fact, they didn't even commit a crime, but they're dead. Anyway, let me play the videos that I believe are relevant.
Security. After several days of protests, police released portions of the video related to the shooting death of Keith Scott.
Notice he said they released portions of the video.
I should warn you, they are graphic, and some viewers may find them disturbing. In the dashcam video, a uniformed officer arrives as backup.
See, but we need the video before this. We need the video to see exactly when they were deployed, because it's kind of difficult to see, but Mr. Scott is in a vehicle that's on the left. So I want to see how they approach that man. And I had made a comment, you never do see the black officer who was reported to have shot him. And there are 3 witness reports by white people that it wasn't the black officer that shot that man, it was a white officer. I'm still trying to run that portion down.
It's another officer, guns drawn at Keith Scott, who's inside the white SUV. Scott gets out, walks backwards, 4 shots ring out. Body camera footage shows the uniformed officer trying to use his baton to break the passenger window. When Scott comes into view, his hands are at his side. This angle does not show the moments the shots are fired, but seconds later, his body's on the ground.
Now, I want to point out to you that the officer that was trying to break his window was white, and then he comes around with his weapon pointed. He's pointing a weapon. Where would the black officer have been? Because you never do see him in this officer's body cam. So I'm wondering if those 3 witnesses weren't right, and the officer who actually fired was the one with the body cam, and somehow that portion was edited out.
Police say 2 plainclothes officers were there to serve an arrest warrant to another man at this apartment complex. Officers say Scott parked next to them and rolled this blunt. They didn't think much of it, they say, until he held up a gun.
The footage itself will not create in anyone's mind absolute certainty as to what this case represents and what the outcome should be. The footage only supports all of the other information.
Okay, now they just provided you with the reason why they approached the car. He was rolling a blunt, okay, and then he holds up a gun while he's inside the car. Yeah, I really believe that one.
They say Scott's DNA and fingerprints are on the loaded gun found at the scene. They also say he was wearing this ankle holster. A freeze frame appears to show it. The new video is distributed one day after Scott's wife released this dramatic cell phone video.
He has no weapon. Don't shoot him.
None of the recordings show Scott pointing a weapon at officers.
He's not aggressively moving towards law enforcement. He's actually doing the opposite. He's passively stepping back.
This wasn't the first time the 43-year-old had a run-in with the law involving a gun. More than a decade ago, he pleaded no contest to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in Texas.
And as usual, they have to bloody his reputation so as to make us not feel as bad that the police shot this guy. That's modus operandi. Anytime the police do something that's wrong, the victim has to be made less of a victim.
Still, his family's lawyers say Scott's delay in getting out of his vehicle doesn't justify his death.
Did you shoot him? Did you shoot him?
His brother-in-law says the videos leave more questions than answers.
We shouldn't have to humanize him in order for him to be treated fairly. He was an American citizen who deserved better.
Overnight, there were peaceful protests here. Some demonstrators upset that more of the videos weren't released, but the police chief says he put out all that was directly relevant to the shooting incident, and he says any more evidence would have to wait to be released until after the State Bureau of Investigation completes its review. Ari?
See, that's bullshit because if they got video of him rolling a blunt and holding up a gun, which led to the encounter, we need to see that. Okay, absolutely we need to see that. And that's the part that's being withheld. And I want to know on that vehicle if the glass was tinted, because you see where it was parked. You couldn't even see inside that vehicle from the angle that we're at. So we need to know where those cops were positioned when they claimed they saw him rolling up a blunt, okay, and holding up a gun. I don't know about you, but I don't bring my arms up to eye level, when I'm rolling a cigarette, i.e. a blunt. You keep that down in your lap. So that they saw him rolling up a blunt is not going to wash. And if they're going to stick to that story, how stupid would he be to hold up a gun? Okay.
Gabe Gutierrez with that report. We want to give you another big development update here happening overnight. There was an intense manhunt about over 24 hours. Authorities in Washington state arresting a suspect in the shooting deaths of 5 people at a Macy's department store that's north of Seattle. Now, witnesses say this video shows a 20-year-old being taken into custody, first spotted by an officer walking along the sidewalk. He has been identified as Arkan Setin. The motive for the shooting still pretty unknown. He is scheduled to appear in court on Monday. Now we want to turn to the...
Okay. Now, I had thought that might have been a Muslim that did that shooting. And with a name like Arkan Setim, I kind of think that this guy's a Muslim, not a Hispanic. But I actually showed you that to show you that here's a guy that killed 4 or 5 people, and he's calmly taken into custody, where you have 2 black men that didn't commit a crime, did nothing wrong, and both of them shot dead. Not even a double standard. This is just a total disregard for the lives of black people, in my opinion.